Welcome to Stephen's Creative Finance, where you and your finances are the most important. I'm sharing these videos and started doing them because after years of my own personal investing, trying to come up with the additional funds that I need over and above what I can earn just on the job, where I found myself in the place of not being able to work enough hours to get a large enough paycheck to cover all my expenses, and suddenly needs that are considered emergencies that I never planned on in life but hit me between the eyes and said, this is now due. I've found my pathway to getting those gains, and it's a lot simpler and a lot easier than you may think. And I'm trying to take the fear out of it for you by sharing what I've done that I found successful and makes me feel safer and more secure than a lot of other options out there. That's why I recommend Coinbase and getting their insurance plan called Coinbase One, which also comes with additional benefits to it. Sometimes they'll let you have a 30-day free month trial and give you at least 10 free trades during the month, which is a huge advantage. Being able to make trades on Coinbase One in this low price range we're talking about for the everyday person who doesn't have thousands or millions to just sink in today or tomorrow. But let it grow over time, being in the right place at the right time. And right now is the right timing to be investing in Bitcoin and picking up the gains in April of the halving. While there's some speculation of what the halving is actually going to look like, with the NFTs watering it down a little bit, it's going to be interesting. I personally am just going to hold my position on Coinbase with the Coinbase One insurance plan, investing as much as I can into Bitcoin between here and April. The fact that the NFTs have kept the price low for right now is a great advantage because it lets us buy more shares of Bitcoin or more coins, depending on how much you're investing to get it. And then we have the halving, which will reduce the amount of Bitcoin available out there, increasing your value, bringing in gains. And I don't see how the NFTs could water it down so much that there would be like no gains at all. I just don't see how that would be possible. And long term, Bitcoin's going to go through the roof in 2028 when we have another halving, and after 2030 when it seems that we won't be able to buy anymore and what you have is what you have, and when you sell it off, it'll just burn off and be gone forever. And then the runner-up to Bitcoin is Ethereum. So if you've gotten your Bitcoin position where you feel comfortable, you may want to sink some money into Ethereum and then stake it to get their percentage earning rates, which pays out over a course of a few days. And then you get an interest rate, and another few days, another interest rate. And so while it seems like it's a low percentage, the fact that the frequency pays out as much as it does, depending on how much you're putting in there, it can add up to a lot very quickly. Not just on what you have in there, but as other users come online and buy more crypto and more Ethereum is utilized through other tokens, it can become more appreciative with that percentage rate and gains, not just on your asset, but what's going on network wide. So I hope that you're blessed in being able to do those two things. If you end up buying other tokens and holding on to them, that'll be a greater advantage, because eventually the entire crypto network will go live and have a lot more users coming into it. And the more users coming into it is going to create it to explode as well. So while some coins you get seems like it's an interesting idea at 4 cents or less, or 4/1/10 of a hundredth of a percent, if you're buying into those kinds of assets, you want to hold on to them, because the lower the price, the longer you're going to have to hold on to it until the rest of the world gets caught up and starts investing into it. And then when the user base increases, that's when crypto will really explode all over the different layers of the blockchains and networks. So I hope that you're making your budget, keeping it realistic to where you're not hurting yourself and your family, so you can buy your crypto, possibly keep it insured depending on how much you're investing, and sit on it and let it continue to grow over time. And don't be discouraged with the everyday up and downs. All that everyday up and downs is about in crypto is the fact that you have people coming online thinking, oh, I'll buy this low and sell it high, and they get just a little bit of gains, and then they sell it off real quick because they actually need that money. But for those of us that are trying to stabilize long term, the gooder idea is to buy into it and let it be able to sit there because we're not hurting ourselves. It was truly just investment money to invest and let sit and be there. And over time, it's going to really appreciate as more and more users come online using Bitcoin, using Ethereum, and all the other tokens out there, buying their NFTs, to which they have to buy into Ethereum and then sell the Ethereum to get their NFTs. And so it's going to create a lot of network activity, and the more network activity, the higher the value of a lot of the crypto will be. And this just seems to be the beginning point of it. And so if you're out there buying some of the assets that are super low right now, you just need to hold on to it for a longer time frame to see the gains come in and not get discouraged with it or not get bored by it. And remember, investing is not about you having a thrill on a day-to-day basis. It's about planting and letting it grow long term and enjoying the wealth that it provides. And you and your finances are most important, so make sure you're not hurting yourself, that you are doing it with disposable income, that you can invest into it and you can let it sit. I'm a big fan of Coinbase and the insurance plan and getting my at least 10 free trades a month and owning more of the asset over having lots and lots of brokerage fees like it seems is going on in the brokerage accounts with the NFTs. I don't know if the brokerage accounts can ever be insured at any price point or not. For what I do in my little bit, it doesn't seem like they offer an actual insurance plan, and they don't seem to say that it's government backed if anything were to happen to it. So I like being in more of a secure position with Coinbase One insurance plan. So if anything were to come up, at least what I've got in there is insured and coverable. And I'm not just out of my assets and out in the cold and trying to figure out how to start over again and again and again on this really high risk situation. So I don't want you to be at any higher risk than necessary. I know that just living and breathing sometimes seems to be a high risk, but I think Coinbase will take care of us and with their insurance plan keep us as safe and comfortable as we possibly can be in this crazy world of today. And I hope that you're doing and finding that when you invest and you let it sit there for a while, that it will continue to increase for you. And don't forget that this halving is going to create an increase. Even if the NFTs suppress it a little bit, they can't suppress it all the way due to the fact that it is a shrinkage of the amount of availability in Bitcoin that'll be available after April. So as the prices go up, I'm sure people are going to be quick to sell off because of the amount of gains that they're going to be getting off of Bitcoin when the halving actually happens. I personally am taking the stand of if I don't have to sell any of it off, I'm going to hold on to it as long term as possible. If I do have major financial needs for the year come up, then I'm going to try to keep it at about a 50% ratio where I don't sell any more than half off and hold on to the rest as long term as possible. Just because the cost bases are so low, I don't think we're going to go back into the 17,000 range again. If that were to happen, it would have to be a catastrophic event, is the way it would seem. But I don't think after this halving, you're going to be seeing the price point to 17,000 over again. So for me, keeping that lower cost basis is the place to be as long term as possible. And I think that these $40,000 range price points could be beneficial for you to hold on to at least half of it as well. However, if you've got a good enough job that you could sell it all off and then get reinvested at the 40 or whatever it's going to be price point later in the summertime, as all the sell-offs catch up and balance out in the market with the availability of the coin even after the halving is cashed out, because it'll still be renewable just on a more limited basis, then go for it. But for those of us who are investing and trying to find the gains and may not have enough to catch back up to the cost basis ever again, it would be advisable not to sell 100% of it off unless you absolutely need to. Thank you for watching Stephen's Creative Finance. I hope I'm helping you all out there to get a better edge on life. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day and weekend.